Hey, hey, hey! It's a nice variation from hello, 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 right? Hi, guys. Should I call you guys? That's so cringe. Hey, everybody. I'm Pumike Bonane, and I am a purpose alignment strategist. That means I help professionals who feel stuck in careers they settled for and jobs they quite frankly hate to discover their purpose and turn it into or align it to a profession that is fulfilling, impactful, and sustainable. I realize that I don't say this in any video, but it's so important that you know who I am. And I think it's also great to share this today because I'm going to brag on my clients. Not on me. Not on me. I'm going to brag on my clients and the amazing things that they have done. In this video, I'm going to share some of my major successes. I know in the first time I was saying, be careful. In the second one, I was like, I made so many mistakes. But this time, I really want to share the beauty of being a purpose practitioner and what I have seen happen in my life and in the lives of those who have joined the bandwagon and are doing life on their own terms, on God's terms. I don't know. You decide however you want to put it. This is a video you want to listen to. Keep watching. So, before going full time as a purpose alignment strategist, I was in corporate for about 6 years. And before then, I was an intern at a technical consulting firm, right? So, I was part of a team that was part of a team that is part of a team. So, I was just really a speck in the entire universe of what was going on in those organizations. And then I started my own company while I was working. And it was like a nice side hustle, a nice gig. Yeah, because I do it in the weekends, I do it at night, I do it whenever I can. And then when I stepped into entrepreneurship full time, I was just like, whoa, wait, I am finance, I am marketing, I am HR, I am everything. Oh my gosh, I became everything for this organization. But let me tell you the beauty of what it is that I do and the beauty, I guess, of maybe every entrepreneur's journey, but particularly mine as a purpose practitioner. I cannot believe that I get to make my own money using my own knowledge. And I know that that sounds weird because even as a consultant, even as an intern, even as an analyst, even as a specialist, because I was all those things when I was in corporate, right? But man, it hits different when you know that you've created something spectacular. Like, this is the knowledge that I share with my clients is my IP. It's not something that I it's not something that I read in a book. This is something that I literally sat down with my clients, created with them. This is something that I've prayed about, created with God. These are my own experiences that I condensed into a framework or a formula. I've got a brain and the brain works. And when it works for other people, they are willing to exchange money for it. That just blows my mind. I cannot believe that I can stand on a stage for an hour and be comfortable to say, all right, for my voice, here's the invoice. That is bizarre to me. That somebody can reach out to me and say, Pumi, I've got this problem. And I sit down with them and I take them through a blueprint and they're able to come out of there with a resolved mind, with a clear plan of action, with something that will transform their lives because I sat and thought and ideated and created and presented. That is the most fascinating thing ever. And I think speaking about this, I really want to share with you guys the 4 types of professionals that I have found in my practice, right? So there are 4, as I said. The first one is the poultry professional. This is somebody who, okay, they do work, but like they're not worthy of recognition or they're not that great at what they do. So the poultry professional, obviously, even the amount of money that they make isn't that great. Think about it like this: the hardest working person who earns the least in any space. Think about a janitor, think about anybody that comes to your mind, right? The issue here is that this poultry professional is using their muscle to make money. It's not a bad thing. It's not a bad idea. I mean, we need our lawns to be mowed. We need our windows to be washed if you've got a high-rise building. We need those people. So there's nothing wrong with it. But if you're watching this video, if you're on my channel, I am willing to bet that you don't want to use your muscles to make money. Further than that, I don't think you are the person that does that because you can operate at the other levels. And let me tell you what the other levels are. The second level is the proficient professional. Now, this person is competent. They've been doing this work for quite some time, right? And what these people normally are, the roles you find these people normally occupying are managerial roles. So the proficient professional uses their managerial skills to make money. Now, this isn't a bad thing, but what I've found in a lot of organizations, or with a lot of the clients that I've spoken to, is that they pay for that position with their time and their life. So it's so demanding. There are demands everywhere. They have to place demands on the people below them. So they use management to make money. Again, I'm not saying any of these are bad, but if you want to do better, if you want to ascend this ladder, then I know for a fact that you would do well in the third and ideally the fourth level. Now, before I continue, if you're like, hey, Manje, what am I? Am I proficient? I run a masterclass ever so often called Where is My Purpose Taking Me Next? Now, this masterclass is great because in the masterclass, and listen, I didn't say webinar, so we're not going to spend like 90 minutes and I'm talking. No, it's a masterclass where we mastermind together. So in this masterclass is an exercise, is a quiz that we do together where you answer a couple of questions and the results will show you which level you're at. It will show you the earning cap, earning potential in each level, and what qualifies or characterizes those people and how you can move to your next, if that makes sense. So if you want to come through, click the link that is in the description. I'd love to host you in one of my masterclasses. Let's move to the third level. The third level is probably one of my favorites because it is the pundit professional. Now, I always talk about the show because I like it so much. Ted Lasso. There's a show called Ted Lasso on Apple TV. Ted Lasso is about a regular American human being who comes to the UK to coach one of the to coach one of the soccer teams. Now, Ted, Shem, this story is not about Ted. Let me not talk about Ted. I want to talk about Roy. So Roy is one of the players in the team, and at some point he gets injured and he cannot continue to play. So his girlfriend says, hey, because you can't be a professional soccer player anymore, how's about you become a pundit? And then they show a bit of his career as a pundit. You know when you're watching soccer and then it's halftime, or maybe even before the match begins, it's halftime, and you get these guys. It's normally guys seated across the table, and they're giving commentary on the coach, on the players, on the season. Those people are pundits, right? And these people use their mouths to make money. So pundits are normally your speakers like myself. They are your musicians, your actors, basically people who use communication or their mouths to make money. Now, this is great because one of the highest paying skills anywhere in the world is communication. In fact, Warren Buffett, you know Warren Buffett, right? The mogul who's big on investing, the investing godfather, if you will. He says that the best skill he ever invested in was communication, like learning to speak, because it did so much more for him than any other skill that he had learned. In fact, one of the best CEOs of one of the best companies, Steve Jobs, the founder of Apple, he was known to be a fantastic orator. When you think about people who really have an impact in your life, it's normally people who are orators. Your first black president of America, Barack Obama, your Martin Luther King, and even people in your local sphere. People who really have the most impact in society and therefore can demand higher remuneration are communicators. And so people who are pundit professionals then use their mouths to make money. The last level, which is for me the best level to occupy, and here's the thing, because it is the most transcendent of the levels, but also it doesn't disqualify you from being able to do the other things that the other levels use, like using your muscles, using management, and using your mouth. This last level is called the purpose practitioner. Surprise! Surprise! Purpose practitioners are these professionals who are actively engaging and excelling in any art, any discipline, any profession that is aligned to their purpose. That's the term purpose practitioner. These professionals use their minds to make money. And listen, the biggest, not the biggest drive, but part of the drive for me with Purpose Practitioners Club is, guys, God created the most genius thing in the world when he made the human mind. Everything we see is a result of someone's mind. The world as we know it. And I'm not even talking about the things that are man-made. I'm talking about the sea. I'm talking about flowers. I'm talking about mountains. Every grand thing about our universe, about our earth, was formulated in God's mind. And every amazing innovation, every groundbreaking creation was because somebody sat down and said, imagine what the world would be if we had a light bulb. Imagine where people would go if we modeled a bird and we put an aircraft in the sky. It was somebody's imagination, somebody's mind, somebody's creativity that has made your life better. Now think about what it would look like if you used your mind, not just to make money, because that is a consequence, but to make someone's life better, to make the world a better place. That is my drive. I heard yesterday one of my coaches said in one session she was running, one session I was in, that you're most like God when you're creating. And I get why she said that, because of all the things God could have, of all the ways God could have introduced himself to us, he first introduced himself as a creator. And then he goes on to create this world, right? In the sixth day, he says, let us make man, number one, in our own image. Number two, after our likeness. If you didn't know this before today, after watching this video, you will know that you were made in the likeness of God. You were made to be like God. Not a God. Please don't get me wrong. I'm not asking you to equate yourself to God. But we're most like God when we are doing what God does. And God is a creator. And so that is what blows my mind, right? That I don't have to do these menial things. And I'm not, listen to me very well, I am not looking down or shunning upon anybody who has to do those things to make a living. But I'm just like, if you've got knowledge and prowess and expertise and you've identified a problem and the people you want to solve the problem for, there is no way on earth that you will not be able to solve that problem at a premium level and be able to demand value for the value that you provide. So that is the one thing that for me was a major success, like really being able to escalate or ascend from just being a poultry professional, because trust me, when I started out, I was proper poultry. Like not just in the amount of money that I made, but there was nothing of significance about me or the work that I was doing. But not even gradually or slowly, but then I became proficient, right? Then I became a pundit and I started using my mouth to make money. But now I'm a purpose practitioner and it's the best thing that I could have done for my mind and my money. Another thing is I have another success and I believe it's a success because working in corporate, and a lot of the corporates that are like your consulting firms, your law firms, all those places where there are billable hours, if you're an auditor, all of those places make you believe that what you should be charging or what you should be charging for is your time. So they say for 1 hour, this is what we are charging. And that is all good and well. But what I have been able to graduate to is, instead of charging for my time, charging for value. So I don't normally refer to myself as a coach, because while I can coach, I identify as, and I think these days it's good to identify as whatever. I identify as a purpose alignment strategist because I've got a program that I run people through, right? I've got a system that I take people through. So I even forgot what I was saying. Oh, so you will never go on any of my sites and find a for 1 hour of coaching 650 because I don't charge for time. I charge for value. I sit down with my clients. What do you want? What do you want to achieve? Da 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 da. Okay, here's what I can help with. Does this align with what you want? Yes. Okay. For the value that you seek, for the results that you're after, for the transformation you want to experience, this is how much this will cost you. I don't charge for my worth because how much are you going to pay me for my worth? Not really. If it took Jesus's life for my life, when how much are you gonna pay? So I'm not gonna say, oh, charge your worth, because that is really it's a bad rhetoric. But also don't charge you for my time, because you can never pay me enough for my time. I do charge for value though, and it's not the value that I get, it's the value that you get. So at the end of the day, the question isn't, I'm paying Bumi for this. It is, this is what I'm getting from experiencing whatever Bumi has to offer me. So more than anything, it's about what you want and the value that you place on what you want, right? So that for me was a big shift, and it was amazing. And I want you to think about those things. Are you charging for your time, or are you charging for value, the value that you provide? And the last thing I told you, I want to brag on my clients. You know, there are days where I sit and I'm just like, Mara, is what I'm doing really what I'm doing, or does it count for anything? And then I go back to some of what my clients have told me, and I look at their profiles and I look at what they've done now, and I'm just like, man, there's always been a method to the madness. This is great stuff. And I'm going to talk to you about 3 right now. So a couple of years ago, I think it was 2021, I ran into, actually, a friend of mine referred a friend of hers to me, because a friend was just like, yo, I don't want to be here anymore. Like, I'm craving change. I think I'm called for so much more than this. And the friend is like, I know a girl. And the girl was me. And she came onto my DMs, we spoke, and I gave her the price, and she got into the program. At that time, she was a lecturer at a university in one of the rural parts of South Africa. It's so funny that every time we'd have a session, she'd be like, Vanessa, we can't hear you. And I'm happy to say her name because her testimonial is on my channel. Vanessa, we can't hear you. Oh, Vanessa goes off the call. There's no network in the Bundus. It's raining. It's windy. And she's like, this is part of my problems. How is this life? But anyway, and she was good as a lecturer because she's a really, really smart human being. She's a pundit. She was a pundit professional before she came to me. And we went through the exercise. At that time, Purpose to Profession was a 3-month program. So it was extensive, right? We went through the thing, and she did, and Vanessa stayed in my chats. Even when we're not together as a group, she would text me like, oh, Mpumi, I've thought of this. Please help me with this. And I found that the people who get the most value out of the program are people who pester me. There's a client that I'm graduating tomorrow. Look, y'all, almost every day there's a text from her, and she's doing so well because she knows that I value this thing so much, right? Anyway, Vanessa goes to the program and she graduates. That's great. Why did this girl quit her job 3 months after the program? I'm just like, Vanessa, what are you doing? Also, this was before I left my job, so I'm just like, why does she believe in this so much? But here's the funny thing. She says to me, you went all in on this program. You were so convicted and so convinced of it, and I borrowed from that conviction. I borrowed from your all-inness, and I went all in as well. She quit her job. It wasn't long after that she got approached to be a director of a wealth group. You know, I was speaking to Vanessa a couple of days ago, and that's when we recorded the video, and she's like, Mpumi, there was a time we got a project, and I'm like, I've never handled so much money in all my life. Like, I've never received so much money in all my life. She's the director of the wealth group. She is doing amazing things in a podcast with her sister. She was saying to me, Mpumi, I hire young people. Their mothers send me WhatsApps like, you've changed our life. You've changed my daughter's life. The beauty of her having said, and she says to me, my purpose was more important. And every decision that I'm making is based on this is my purpose. And it opened so many doors for her that she's just like, oh my goodness, had I known about this earlier, I would have pursued this earlier. So Vanessa, I'm always proud of you. And this is the beauty of careers being transformed. Like when I talk about results and transformation, this is exactly what I'm talking about. And then I want to talk about Khalalelo. So Khalalelo comes to my program and she's like, Bumi, I'm an SEO copywriter. Yeah, I'm great at it. I mean, I write copy and it's great. But I really think I can do more. And I was like, okay, cool. She gets into the program and we start working. And while we're working, she's like, there's a promotion I'm gunning for. Please coach me through that. And this was like something I don't do in my program, right? Side coaching is not something I do, but I was just like, you're here and I want to transform your career. Let's go. Coach her. And before the program is over, she gets that promotion and she's like, girl, I love you. I'm like, I love you too. Anyway, she goes through the program. She gets done with it. A couple of months later, I think it was a year later, I remember she had started working in this promotion, right? She's like, Boomy, there's a method to the madness. Now, all my clients say this to me because this is what I say in the program a lot. Because we bring pieces together that seem kind of divorced from each other. But when the system comes together, when the nuts comes to the balls and they eat, it becomes something amazing, right? She says, Boomy, there's a method to the madness. You always said it and now I believe it. Guess what I am now? Like, tell me. She says, I'm a strategic communication specialist because I followed through on this whole purpose thing, on my offer, on my value, my prowess, and and I finally landed the job of my dreams. I cannot believe this. And I'm like, I can, because we created something magical together. And stories like this make me so happy, because you don't have to leave corporate to be a purpose practitioner. Yes, some people start their own businesses. Other people get into the NPO space. Other people become creators. There's just so much you can do with this thing, right? Because at the end of the day, you are using your mind to impact the world. You are using your mind and you're most fulfilled. You're using your mind and you are being sustained. So yeah, Khalalelo is living the life of her dreams in the career of her dreams, and she's killing it. The last client I want to talk to you about is Mpo. Mpo is one of my recent clients. Mpo comes to me and she's like, Mpumi, we're getting on a payment plan because your girl is unemployed. But I know that my unemployment is not going to stop me from actually doing the thing that I want to do. And I'm like, girl, you're brave. But if this is not going to put you out in the street, if you're not going to starve, come on in. And she got into the program via payment plan, and she started doing the work because she took the work very seriously. She showed up every week. She had done the work that needs to be done, and then she graduated from the program. Can I tell you that before she graduated, she registered her company, right? She was like, I know what I'm going to do. This is tied very closely to a problem I once had. I can solve for this because I know exactly what needs to happen. She registered her company. A month later, she reaches out to me and she's like, yo, I got my first 5 clients. I'm like, oh, wait, I didn't see you put out content. I didn't see you market your thing. And she's like, I didn't have to. I just said, hey, guys, this is what I'm doing. If you're interested, come through. Her mom put up a WhatsApp status, and there were people who were like, yes, yes, yes. And a month later, somebody who was unemployed before she got into the program was running her own business, and she was profitable from day one because she's running a consulting company. Like, what? Little old me, this little girl from Soweto, changing people's lives, changing people's financial situations, changing people's career. What do you mean? And when I tell you that my major successes are really seeing my clients win, you have to believe me, because nothing gives me more fulfillment than, firstly, doing my thing and doing my thing well. Nothing for me is as impactful as knowing that I am changing the workspace, right? I'm changing people's lives. I'm changing people's careers and how they interact with their work. And it's been so beautiful to know that I can just open my mouth I can just use my mind, and that attracts money because value begets value. In fact, I was with one of my new cohorts, a new and last cohort of Purpose Practitioners Club, because we're transitioning into something else, and I'll tell you about it in the next video. And they gave me it was a session, right? So they gave me some of their thoughts and ideas. And this morning, as soon as I woke up, why was I already thinking about, oh, this one is going to do that. Here's what we can put together for this one. Da, da, da. My mind works over time. I don't sleep because I'm thinking about how I need to change this world, and I'm thinking about how to actually do it for my clients. So those are my major successes. These videos are becoming so much longer than I thought they would be. But man, there's just so much to share. How do you condense 5 years into 30 minutes or 1 hour? It just doesn't work. But God has been so good, and I'm just so glad to be a vessel that is being used to really change the world. And at the end of the day, that is what I believe purpose is about, right? Purpose is about saying yes to God's call over your life. Pursuing your purpose is really knowing what you were designed for and living up to that design, and not being afraid of what comes with that, but just knowing that you are doing exactly what God had in mind when He made you. And if there's one thing that I implore you to do, it is to seek what that thing is for you and to do it and thrive in it unapologetically. Again, if you want to come to the masterclass, just click the link. It's free. So come through, learn all you need to know. And if you want to work further with me, there's also an opportunity for that. But otherwise, there is nothing better than for us to find joy in the work that we do, because that is our heritage. That is a cornerstone of Purpose Practitioners Club, and I want you to experience this joy. Otherwise, that's it from me. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share, do all of the things. Comment. Did I say comment? Don't forget to comment. Let me know what your thoughts are. Also, it would be fun to know which level you think you're at. Otherwise, bye. I'll see you next week.